I mean, I thought the Texans at the beginning of the year were going to be okay, but holy crap, what is going on, guys? And I mean, the Steelers are still alive, too. Let's go, though. Saturday recap of the first two games of Week 18. Let's go.
It's in Minshew's hand, and a drop by Goodson.
Just gets it off. Harris dives and scores. And the Steelers with a powerful drive. 12 plays.
Jackson, and he wants to see to it that this young man reaches his potential.
Gord loses the football after the Ravens pick up their first down. They fumble it away.
Creeping over. Corner comes up, safety creeps over.
Rudolph dumps it down to Warren again. And he'll be tackled short of the marker. So, Seattle, you don't see it. Edwards through a crease, makes a cut, and dusts the bus, rolls down inside. They crowd the line on 2nd and 12. Hundley back over the middle, and the catch is made. Isaiah Likely dives to the end zone. Backpedaling, ball pumped right up in the air, bouncing around and recovered. Pressure closing in. That ball's knocked out loose again, and the Ravens fall on it.
But any longer he has to.
Bobble snap there, just falls on it. Pittsburgh. Ravens bring some pressure. It's picked up and down the middle. The catch is made by Deontay Johnson. They will not catch him. Pittsburgh.
The field from the Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah, it's a run to Edwards that does. Moved to 6, lost the football. Pittsburgh's got it. That's perfect for Pittsburgh. And Tucker will step up and try to. Steelers hands team. The bunts along the ground, and on a slippery day, it's going to be recovered by Pittsburgh.
Welcome back to the Final NFL. Of course, please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy the NFL and ESPN Week 18 doubleheader Saturday recap. Of course, we've got the first game that just happened. Of course, we just saw the highlights. And, yep, it was a match between the Steelers and Ravens. Of course, the Steelers were able to get the exact same victory they had at home back in Week 5 with that 17-10 victory. Here this week, again, completing the season sweep and keeping their playoff hopes alive. Of course, they moved to 10-7 with their third straight win. Of course, the Ravens fall to 13-4, but it doesn't really matter. They still basically technically have the best record in the league, and they more likely will host a playoff game. Will host their the first game of the divisional round. That's like what happened a couple years ago. So that'll be my guess. But again, we really don't know until the divisional round schedule comes out. But of course, the Steelers are again still in the playoff hunt. Again, all the Jags lose, they are in the playoffs. So or the Bills. The Jags or Bills lose, the Steelers are in the playoffs. Again, that's really all they need to happen. Again, only one of those two things. So it's not completely out of the possibility, but they are again. We'll see if they can make it again. They've made the playoffs every single season. They've won 10 games, so there's some confidence for you Steelers fans. Of course, the weather in this game was crap. If you watched the game, it was like 7-7 for like most of the third quarter. For most of the third quarter, of course, then they scored some points after that, but. Mason Rudolph went 18 of 20 for 150 yards and a touchdown. 90% completion percentage in this weather is pretty nuts. Again, a lot of underneath passes. I think his longest throw downfield was that touchdown to what is called Deontay Johnson, and that was like maybe 13 yards. It was a great throw, but yeah, still. Of course, he didn't throw the ball much because again, he had there were like 8 combined fumbles in this game. It was really bad weather. Najee though, outside of the first play of the game, he looks like a back who could actually be really good in the future. Of course, 26 for 112 and a touchdown. He ran over a lot of guys and he's looked really good the past 2 weeks. Of course, Jalen Warren did break some tackles and also had a couple nice plays. Out of shotgun more or less. Of course, Deontay Johnson had the 71-yard touchdown. The Steelers only touchdown in that second half. Outside of that, I mean, George Pickens didn't have a target, so yeah, it was not the most fun game for that. Obviously, they wouldn't really throw the ball at all. Meanwhile, for this defense, Eric Rowe, 12 total tackles. He was very good at what it's called, basically playing in run force. But T.J. Watt, having a grade 3, a feared grade 3 sprained MCL. So let's hope he can recover from that if they do make the playoffs. 8 tackles, 2 sacks. Actually holds sole possession as the sack lead right now with 19. We'll see if he can, again, if no one else hits that. Mark Robinson had 5 tackles in a sack as well. He also played very well. Overall, this defense did do a good job. Obviously, Marcus Golden had his 4th sack of the season. Alex Highsmith didn't get as much pressure as you'd like. Again, when he plays in adverse condition, he's usually not as good because, again, he's a guy who relies on being able to climb upfield. Similar to TJ Watt, the difference is TJ can use a lot more power moves than Alex, so it definitely is you could definitely see the difference with that. Keanu Ben had the best game of his career so far. Made some really nice plays. Of course, forced fumble as well. This defense played really well in this game. Of course, Chris Boswell also had his 25-yard field goal attempt. For the Ravens, Tyler Huntley did what you'd expect him to do. Struggled to throw the ball on field really at all. Pretty inaccurate, but, I mean, he ran the ball a couple times, 8 for 40. Yeah, makes sense. He's the Ravens' backup quarterback. He's been there for the past 3 years, and he looked like his normal self. 146 yards and a touchdown, though, for him in this football game. Receiving-wise, Nelson Aguilar actually got open a lot. Isaiah Likely, of course, with that highlight touchdown. He didn't really play any of the second half. Charlie Kohler got a good amount of targets and catches for, again, what you usually see from him. Laquan Treadwell disappointed me, despite, again, being like their 5th receiver. Defensively, though, Deshaun Phillips had 13 tackles. He was really good. Patrick Queen had 8 tackles. Again, he actually played the whole game. Well, we may not the full game. Honestly, I think he played the whole game. Whatever. Arthur Millette was pretty good. Also 6 tackles. Trenton Simpson, 5 tackles and a sack. He'll probably be their starting linebacker next year because Patrick Queen will get the bag in free agency. Jadeveon Clowney had 4 tackles and another sack. I think he has like 8 on the season. Something like that. He has 9.5. Is that the career high for him? I think it might be. He's going to get some money in free agency. No, wait, yeah, that is a career tied with 2017 where he was a Pro Bowler. Of course, he's more of a run defender. Of course, he was the number 1 pick. Yeah, he tied his career high as a 30-year-old. Dang, good job, Jadeveon, I guess. But obviously keep going down for the Ravens. Outside of that, I mean, Kyle Van Noy was okay. Brandon Stevens was decent. Marcus Williams dropped a pick 6, but outside of that, I mean, this defense did do a good job, again, with bad conditions. Justin Tucker also had his field goal attempt, again, to make this a 2-score game before, of course, they did not get the onside kick. Numbers-wise, again, both teams had under 300 yards of offense, as expected. Both teams, again, fumbled the ball 8 total times, so, again, not surprised a couple teams lost the fumble. Steelers definitely had the ball longer. Again, they had a couple more big plays, and, again, they just had their starters playing. That was really the difference in this game. I'm going to say the Ravens win this one, I don't know, 27 to, probably like 27-7 if Lamar played. But, again, this was a pretty competitive game. Again, it was pretty boring until that touchdown from Deontay Johnson, but typical Steeler football, of course. They've completed the season sweep on the Ravens. Now let's get the keys to the game, Grace, before we get into the night. For the Steelers, they did give Najee Harris 25 carries. Mason did not throw for 200 yards, but I mean, I didn't really blame him. Of course, they did get Jalen Warren there, good amount. Deontay Johnson did have under 7 targets. I only think he had 6, so that was decent. But, of course, did not get the ball to George Pickens, which I think was an issue in this football game. But then again, this offense did do enough to win this football game, in my opinion, because, again, they did fumble 4 times. But then again, let's be honest, guys. The weather was crap in this game. It did slow down both offenses. I'll give them a plus. I think they did do a good job. Again, they did need some big plays, but this offense was able to figure it out in the end. Defensively, though, simply don't get beat on the zone runs with pulling guards, securing the B gap as Alex tries to chase down the back to the outside. He wasn't able to climb upfield as well as you're used to seeing, but then again, he was very disciplined against the run and did shed some blocks really well. Of course, Tyler Huntley did break a couple runs on them, especially scramble drill. But outside of that, I think the Steelers defense was fine. I'll give them 4 pluses. Good job, Steelers. You earned yourselves a hard-earned win. Again, you can sit on the couch and see if you guys can made the playoffs. But with that said, let's get into the Ravens back. For the Ravens, Tyler Huntley did not throw the ball for over 4.5 yards per attempt. Not even close to that. Melvin Gordon did not have 2 touchdowns. Laquan Treadwell did not have a 100-yard game, and they did put up 10 points, which was not 14. I mean, guys, the weather was bad. It was the Ravens' backups. I really don't know what you would have expected. Gus Edwards was getting a little disappointing. Laquan Treadwell did not get open, despite, again, having some very advantageous opportunities. But Ravens offensively, I don't know. I'll give them 4 minuses. They didn't impress me at all. What do you expect, though? They're their backups. Defensively, though, don't get 30 to jeopardize scoring defense title, whatever you want to call that. Yeah, they did fine. I don't know. Equal sign? No, they did. Yeah, let's give them 2 pluses. Good job, I guess. Now let's get to the second game, guys. Yeah, what is it called? The Texans and Colts, win or go home. Here were the highlights.
Good snap, good hold, good kick. Stroud, little play action to start. Good protection, airs it out for Collins. He's got it. 1 play, touchdown, Texans. Stroud wide open for the touchdown is the fullback Andrew Beck. Try by Matt Gay, who nails it.
Minshew could put that ball.
23-yard completion. Here goes Taylor with Pierce in front. Touchdown, Colts. Colts 3 for 4 and converting on 2-point tries. Pop pass, tie game. One short of his career long. He hits the upright, no good. Absolutely perfect. Which he does. Stroud has to spin out of there. Backpedaling, and he just throws it to Collins with a diving catch. The 3 first and goal. Carry by Singletary for the touchdown.
Great drive. Excellent work by C.J. Stroud.
However, the extra point is yanked wide left. It's in Minshew's hand, and a drop by Goodson. Cameron Johnston is going to run out of the back of the end zone, take the safety. Throws backward to Pittman. He fumbles it backward. Texans are there, and the Texans are in the playoffs.
And the Texans clinched their first playoff spot and potentially division title since 2019 as their Cinderella, very unexpected season continues. Of course, the 50 with D'Amico Ryans and C.J. Stroud becoming the 5th duo ever for a rookie quarterback and a rookie coach to make the playoffs since 1950, or at least 1950, something like that. But of course, Texans rattle off their back-to-back wins to again get to 10-7. And, of course, knock off the Colts. 23-19 was the final score, more like 23-17. But, yeah, that 23-19 was the final. Of course, C.J. Stroud basically wrapped up Rookie of the Year because, again, they did make the playoffs and won double-digit games. But, of course, we got to look at the playoff picture first. The Texans, of course, did clinch a playoff spot. They, at the very least, will be the 6th seed in the AFC. Of course, that means they will probably have to travel to Kansas City. C.J. Stroud versus Patrick Mahomes would be pretty cool. But they can clinch the division if the Jaguars lose. Yeah, so... Because again, basically, if the Jaguars lose, the Texans win the division. That's basically all I got for that. And obviously, the Jaguars, they lose, they are out of the playoffs. That's basically as simple as that. And obviously, they tie, same type of thing. Colts are eliminated from the playoffs, though, guys. Great season. You guys obviously played well over your expectations, especially by my standards for you guys. So, great season, but of course, the last play. We'll get to that in a second. CJ Dog, 2 touchdowns. Of course, he had a 75-yard bomb to kick it off. Again, he was a little inconsistent at the end of second half and really the whole third quarter. Fourth quarter was obviously very good with that 7-for-7, 82-yard game-winning drive. But overall, he looked fantastic, and he will win Rookie of the Year. Of course, that ridiculous throw to Nico Collins, we'll talk about in a second. The running game was not all efficient at all. I mean, the blocking honestly wasn't even that bad. This will not help the average at all, but they hit the ball for 40-something yards with that. But, yeah, Devin Singletary, again, he did break many tackles. He wasn't really at all impressive to me. I think they should have put in Dameon Pierce a little bit more than they did. I don't even know if he played, but, yeah, Devin Singletary did do the course guy in the end zone, but the blocking really wasn't even that bad. Again, well, for C.J. Stroud, he got hit, a lot, but that was, after, 3 or 4 seconds. I actually think this offensive line did do a decent job in this game. Of course, receiving-wise, Nico Collins had his best game of his career. 9 catches, 195 yards, a 75-yard touchdown. He made some ridiculous plays over the middle. Of course, that huge diving catch. Get the Texans that first down, which it looked like they just got completely beat on that play. But Nico Collins, he's a true number 1 receiver and is a borderline top 15 dude. He had a monster year. What was it? Yeah. 1,300 yards, 80 catches, 8 touchdowns. This dude's legit. Of course, maybe not the most, consistent receiver in the league by any means, but he's very fast, very talented. I liked him going in the year to be their number 1 receiver. I didn't think he was going to be nearly this good, but he was ridiculous this year. Nico Collins should get a freaking huge bag. Dalton Schultz also pretty good as a compliment, and of course, Andrew Beck caught that touchdown. Meanwhile, for this defense, Christian Harris had 12 tackles and a sack. He was very good. Outside of, again, the tackle he missed in the backfield, Blake Cashman was bad in terms of run fits and also got pulled away a lot on those Colts motions. But then again, he did do a good job in coverage. Jalen Petrie did not give anything over the top of him. He did a very good job there. Desmond King was lethal in the slot. After that, though, Overall, the defense just didn't miss too many assignments, and up front, they did a very good job at getting off blocks, especially on early downs. Meanwhile, again, Kyler Fairbairn didn't miss the field goal, extra point. That was an awful miss, but whatever. We'll worry about that next week. Colts, though. Gardner Minshew was, again, 13 of 24, 141. When he didn't have his first read or even his second read, he just sometimes hesitated. I think he missed a couple reads, too. Definitely not the sharpest game we've seen from him all year, but then again, the Colts missed the playoffs. Again, that was tough. Of course, Jonathan Taylor, 30 for 188, a touchdown. He had a monster game. Of course, that 49-yard touchdown. Huge game. Zach Moss also had 6 for 30. Gardner Minshew 1 for He also ran for 9 on the scramble. Josh Johnson had some big plays again. I think there was some flash plays here and there. Michael Pittman Jr. was probably their most consistent guy, 5 for 144. Kyle Granson also caught their only downfield pass really of the whole game. Of course, Tyler Goodson did drop the game-losing pass, but again, you can't really blame him too much for it. It's one play, even if it was the Colts season, guys. Tyler Goodson, he's a fantastic backup running back. He puts in a ton of effort. You can't just blame him for that one play. Any Colts fans, but then again, I really hope he bounces back from it next year. He just beat 13 tackles. He's gonna be their starting linebacker next year. Zaire Franklin was very good in coverage and did not miss a tackle in this game. Ronnie Harrison Jr. also had a sack, as well as DeForest Buckner. Defensively, I think they did a good job. Yeah, they gave some big plays in coverage, and the corners struggled because they don't have a number 1 corner. Julius Brents, I think, would be a very good number 2 corner next year, especially when you can put him in zone. But again, they just simply don't have a number 1 guy there, and Rodney Thomas struggled big time in this football game. Wait, did he even play? It was someone the same number. Whatever, though. Yeah, it was a tough game for that secondary. Looking at the team stats, though, obviously both teams had over 300 yards, but again, 60 rushing yards for the Texans. Of course, they basically did it in opposite ways. 227 yards for the Colts on the ground. They also had the ball logger, again, that one fumble they lost, and also the fact that, again, guys, that drop pass, that was really the difference in this game. Both teams struggled on 3rd down in this game, but then again, the Texans just got some plays when they needed to, and the Colts just simply didn't. Of course, that's what got Stroud the Rookie of the Year, more or less, and also got them to the playoffs. So let's get right to the keys of the game, Grace, to wrap this thing. If the Texans offensively, CJ getting the ball out quick on the boundary, I think he did somewhat of that. Again, he got clocked on some of those throws because, again, he was not getting the ball as quick as I think was necessary. But then again, he didn't get absolutely sacked 8 times. On 2nd and 3rd, 5+ every receiver run constantly, over the head of Rodney Thomas. Rodney Thomas, I don't think played. They definitely did a good job with Darrell Baker Jr. He's really the only guy in the Colts who missed tackles. So good job targeting him, and obviously 150+ team rushing yards. They didn't get anything close to that. The offensive line, I think they did do a good job at least of penetrating, but they did not hold any blocks. It was a complete muddy. There were some really muddy holes for Devin Singletary in this game. Offensively, though, I don't know. I'll probably give them 4+. They did do enough to win this football game. Obviously, the big touchdowns, big plays were their MO in this game, and we'll see if they can continue that throughout the playoffs. Defensively, though, Will Anderson, I think, only had 2 pressures. He did struggle against Bernard Raymond in this game. Jonathan Bernard, 2+ sacks. I think he might have had 1, but he did do a good job. Derek Stingley Jr. finding his rhythm by the end of the first drive. He not only gave a catch in this game, he did a very good job. And obviously, they did miss a couple tackles in the open field. Really, the only thing I got to say for this Texans defense. But overall, I think they did do a pretty good job. Kyle Granson, really the only big catch they gave up too. So defensively, it was a pretty solid game. I'll give them 2+. Again, outside of some bad run defense, I think it was fine. But then again, in the playoffs, this is the type of team they're playing because the Colts might actually have the best running game in the AFC outside of the Ravens and probably not the Browns. Who the heck was it? Overall, the Colts always have a solid running game. So overall, I think this Texans defense, they'll be okay. Now let's look at the Alright, Indy, of course, Minshew did not really succeed at all through the air. Alec Pierce struggled to get open. Jonathan Taylor did have a 49-yard touchdown. Michael Pittman Jr. did not have that big of a day. He at least was a little bit productive, I guess. Colts offensively, they couldn't get anything going through the air. This looked a lot like Atlanta a couple weeks ago. But the good news was Jonathan Taylor ran for nearly 190 yards. And when you can get that out of him, you should have a good chance to win. And, of course, they almost won. Again, it's been a tough season, Colts, but I think, again, you had a very solid season for, again, what you expected out of yourselves. So, again, great job next year. You should be very good. Again, missed the playoffs second straight time that, again, you've had a chance to, and you just, again, I wouldn't say blew it, but failed to, to take advantage of the opportunity. I'll have to give you 2 minuses, though. Again, you ran the ball really, really well, but again, in those crucial situations, especially in the first half, they weren't able to get the ball downfield through the air. Defensively, DeForest Buckner was very good in this game, not a scoop and score or anything like that. He did dominate Shaq Mason, not as much Michael Dieter, actually, which was kind of ironic, and obviously, Rodney Thomas didn't play, so I think that wasn't that big of a deal. Corners just struggled. That's your biggest need in the offseason. See if you can get more of that, and honestly, again, to be completely honest, maybe another offensive lineman, but best Colts go in the offseason, they just need another corner, like a legit dude. I don't know, maybe Jalen Johnson or something, but probably not. Again, he'll probably go back to Chicago. Depends on probably what happens in this game today. But with that said, Colts defensively, I will probably give you 3 minuses. Just secondary wasn't good enough in this game. That's really all I got for the Colts. I hope you guys enjoyed this NFL and ESPN Week 18, what is called doubleheader Saturday recap. Hope you guys enjoyed all the 2 games. Again, congrats to the Texans for making the playoffs for the first time in 5 years, actually. No, well, basically 4 years. And obviously the Steelers still have a shot at making it. I don't know what happened yet because, again, the games haven't happened. But best of luck to the Steelers for having the Ravens lose. I mean, not the Ravens, the Jags lose. But until tomorrow, guys, again, we'll have the Sunday recap tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed the games. Go check out my Sunday preview if you, again, haven't watched it before the game started. Or the late games. You can see whatever. Again, there's what is called timestamps for you guys there. But until tomorrow, hope you guys enjoy the last couple games. And, of course, the rule is for all the teams that are still alive, don't freaking get eliminated. Let's get to it tomorrow, though. And, yeah, see you.
Dickinson on the same side.
10 to go.
A little pin by Dickinson. Loud.
Dickinson deep underneath. Got it!